Help me reach 500 subscribers. A few hours after my wife kissed me goodbye and breezily told me she was leaving for a girls' weekend, my 6-year-old tugged at my sleeve and whispered, "Daddy, we need to hide." The fear in his voice froze me. Something was wrong, far worse than I'd imagined. I grabbed her phone from the counter, flipped through the synced messages, then checked the security cameras. No suitcase, no travel bag, no sign of her leaving town. She wasn't on a vacation. She wasn't even out of the city. She'd lied, and not casually. The kind of lie that comes with a trap. Before I could think another step ahead, the front door exploded inward. A boot slammed through the wood, splintering it clean off its hinges. 2 more figures rushed in behind the first, black masks, tactical gear, armored plates. Silent. Efficient. Military-trained. 3 of them. Jamie clutched my wrist tightly, but he didn't scream. Smart kid. I dropped to one knee and fired. One went down immediately, dropping like a marionette with its strings cut. The other 2 vanished into the dim corners of the living room, moving with the precision of people who'd been paid a lot of money to get a job done quickly. I grabbed Jamie and slid us behind the staircase. My mind switched into the mode I hadn't fully used since deployment, counting steps, mapping angles, tracking shadows. 12 paces from the hall to the stairs. 6 to the kitchen. 4 to the side door. They didn't know the layout like I did. I built this house myself, every cut of wood and every hidden space. And they had no idea I'd been preparing for something like this. It had started weeks earlier, subtle signs at first. My wife came home smelling like a stranger. Sharp citrus. Some expensive fragrance I'd never seen her wear. She kissed me softly, laughed too easily, touched me with just a little too much performance. "I'm tired," she said whenever I asked. Then came the secretive phone. She kept it face down. Locked. Under her pillow. In the shower with her. Jamie was the first to notice. "Mom gets upset when I ask who she's texting," he told me. Then one evening she looked at me and said, "You'll be angry when you find out." She was wrong. I didn't get angry, I got meticulous. I set up a silent sync of her messages and files to an encrypted inbox routed through a hidden server I built into the HVAC system. And within days, I saw everything. It wasn't just an affair. It was a plot. She wasn't cheating with some stranger. She was with a man I used to trust, a veteran, a contractor who'd traded honor for cash years ago. Their messages spiraled quickly from desire to strategy. Bank accounts, property, maps of our home, discussions about life insurance. Then I saw the one that stopped my breath. He's worth more dead than divorced. She had already started building a fake trail of abuse. She'd contacted her lawyer, filed false claims, crafted a story where she got everything: custody, assets, freedom. All she needed now was my body on the floor. But she didn't know that Jamie had borrowed her phone to play a game and saw just enough to get scared. He came to me trembling. That saved my life. So I checked the feeds. 3 shadows pacing outside. Their timing was exact. Their movements crisp. Professionals. I opened the gun safe. Loaded everything. I positioned myself. When they broke in, I was ready. I made a small noise in the pantry. One of them turned toward it. He exposed his back. Rookie mistake. I was on him before he could breathe wrong. The blade slid clean and deep underneath his ribs. Silent. Final. 2 down. The last one crept upstairs, slow and careful. Jamie stayed tucked under the staircase, like we'd rehearsed. I moved up after the intruder, one step at a time, letting the house tell me where he was. At the top of the landing, he crouched, gun raised. He didn't know where I was, but he could sense me. "You shouldn't be here," he said without turning. "Neither should you," I answered. He whipped around at the sound, and I saw recognition flicker in his eyes. "Jason," he breathed. I didn't shoot him. Not yet. Instead, he woke up later strapped to a chair in the garage, bloody but alive. Wind howled through the broken front door. I stood calmly in front of him. "She told you she loved you?" I asked. He nodded, eyes wild. "We have plans," he said weakly. "No," I corrected. "She has plans." You were just the tool. I let him sit in that realization for a moment before I forwarded every screenshot, every recording, every piece of evidence to her attorney, her employer, and a backup batch to an external drive. You're bluffing, he spat. No, I said. I've already won. By sunrise, Jamie and I were safe in my sister's house. I tucked him into the guest bed. Is it over? He whispered. I told him yes. And for the first time in weeks, I meant it. Then I went home. I waited. Hours later, she walked through the front door rolling her suitcase, expecting a crime scene with my body at its center. Instead, she stopped dead in the doorway. Blood on the floor. Broken wood. Silence. And me, sitting casually at the kitchen table drinking coffee. Her face strained. Expecting someone else? I asked. Where are they? She stuttered. In custody. Very talkative, I replied. I placed a thick folder on the counter, printouts of everything she hoped I'd never uncover. She stared at it as if it were a live bomb. You wanted a fresh start, I said. Now you'll get one. Cold, alone, and without a single lie left to hide behind. She opened her mouth, but no words formed. I leaned in slightly. Next time you plan a murder for hire, I said quietly, don't use your kid's tablet hotspot. That night, I lay in my sister's spare room staring at the ceiling. I didn't feel rage. Not grief. Not even satisfaction. Just clarity. It wasn't the affair that cut deepest. It was the math behind it. The calculation. She didn't betray me out of passion. She tried to erase me for profit. But she underestimated the one thing I was better at than she ever understood: precision. While she stitched lies into a fragile little story, I built a cage of truth around her. And when it dropped, it shattered everything she thought she'd gain. No screaming. No dramatic confrontation. Just quiet, relentless justice. Sometimes it doesn't come from the law. Sometimes it comes from the husband she tried to bury, standing tall, ring still on his finger, until he melts it down into something far stronger.